Humanity's journey to reach its potential depends on individual passion, fearless action, and compassion. Fear and security-based politics have brought us nothing but division, death, and destruction. The current state of scientific and technological evolution, coupled with social devolution, jeopardizes our progress. Nuclear weapons and other mass destruction tools in the hands of passionate but spiritually unevolved individuals are not only dangerous but suicidal. It is critically important for us to socially evolve and keep pace with advancements in other areas of life. Throughout history, individuals have fought against accepted truths to guide humanity toward evolution despite the resistance of racism, nationalism, and religious extremism. Scientific, technological, and medical advancements are living proof of our evolution, undeniable to all. While disputing individuals are common, humanity has always benefited from those who push for evolution. We must encourage and support these trendsetters, for their advancements are often met with resistance by those comfortable in their ways. Standing with these revolutionary individuals is essential to avoid hindering humanity's evolutionary process. Although this path is fraught with fears, nothing happens if we do not evolve and take charge of our destiny. Human beings are designed to evolve, it is in our DNA. From brain cells to muscle cells, we constantly adapt to change. If our immune system cannot evolve with the environment, we are at risk, but if we push forward and evolve, we develop resistances that enable us to survive natural changes. Whether viewed scientifically or through a religious lens, we are all human beings first and foremost. Before judging others, we must use our personal sense of justice, which can override the politics of belonging to a particular group. It is not exclusively about science or religion but about acting as a whole being. Ask yourself if you are merely a puppet controlled by political or religious leaders or the chief executive officer of your life. You can make choices using your God-given sense of justice, common sense, and logic. Human beings have free will, which comes with personal responsibility for every action taken. Historically, conquering nations treated conquered people and their assets as property. Today, spirituality and human rights are pillars of decency, hard to maintain even in peaceful times. During wars, when love is at its cheapest, humanity loses its spiritual essence, and ordinary people do not shy away from becoming animals, sometimes even endorsing such actions against opposing groups. Political disputes worldwide reveal prejudice and discrimination. I watched a documentary about a terrorist educating young students, claiming that conforming them at a young age was effective, similar to Roman Catholic nuns conforming native children. This practice is linked to an out-of-control sense of belonging. If religious people figured this out long ago, why can't we see or understand it today? For the world to achieve peace, all nations and groups, whether gangs, races, genders, or religions, must educate their young about spirituality and equal human rights instead of divisive politics. Militancy stems from the poisonous education of division and the lethal combination of raging hormones in young people who have not yet learned to manage emotional triggers. Dealing with our inner animal is a personal issue. If we, as adults, cannot take responsibility for our actions and behaviors, it shows a clear lack of personal control. One must decide whether to be a puppet or a CEO of their life. The main culprit behind this is the politics of belonging. Whether it is a gang, community, race, gender, nation, science, or religion, all are victims of a viral infection called a political sense of belonging. This infection has not been fought at the individual level, especially if communities do not want individuals to stand up and cure themselves. Communities often prefer individuals to remain weak and vulnerable to maintain a strong sense of group belonging. Those who understand and apply their personal sense of justice can override group loyalty to stay true to themselves. I believe it is time for individuals to assume personal responsibility as CEOs of their lives. God intended for us to be the chief executive officers of our lives, using our sense of justice to excel. We are born with free will, but our chosen groups pressure us to conform and be puppets to their causes. If we take responsibility at an individual level, we can self-regulate and become whole persons. Ideally, social crimes would decrease, wars would cease, and spiritual crimes in the name of group loyalty would be eliminated. Individual responsibility allows us to question the motives behind our group's politics. The foundation of all wrongs lies in individual weakness instilled by our groups from an early age. Promoting spirituality-based equal human rights may conflict with certain religious beliefs, but as groups, we often enforce political rules and traditions, causing individuals to lose their sense of justice and fail to speak against group injustices. Being a CEO as an individual can disrupt old ways of ruling. Groups with political or religious agendas strive to keep individuals weak and conforming. The carrot and stick philosophy, used for centuries, does not foster self-regulation or trust. Instead, we must trust in our ability to self-regulate and adapt to today's evolved life. A CEO with free will should use knowledge to see through the political rules of their chosen groups, whether customs, traditions, religions, or laws. If something does not make sense, it should be challenged and changed. Our religions and constitutions must evolve with the times. We cannot cling to ancestral ways without considering the need for change. Evolving and adopting new practices can prevent spiritual crimes committed without consequences. Humanity is always capable of learning new things, indicating that we have not yet reached our full potential. Incomplete knowledge can drive individuals to act politically and blindly for their groups, despite their innate sense of justice. Limited brainpower means we are still evolving. Our rights and wrongs can change with new education. We must use soulful passion and fearless actions, striving to evolve with compassion. Our inner animal influences us heavily through the politics of group loyalty. It is time to evolve to the next level, benefiting humanity with our knowledge. It is not spiritual for a large portion of humanity to suffer while a small percentage lives lavishly. Equal human rights should be adopted in all societies, promoting spirituality over politics. As individuals, we must critically examine every ability and sense, appreciating the bounties of life, including love and our ability to evolve. Why aren't we happy and content with our blessings? Our nature drives us to seek more, the foundation of our evolutionary drive. We must control our natural urges and ensure our belief systems make life livable, adding happiness and contentment. If beliefs lead us astray, we must reassess and take personal responsibility for our lives. When individuals are ready to kill or die, it shows a twisted glitch in politically infected religions and a lack of belief system integrity. Politics of group loyalty rob individuals of their sense of justice. Reassessing beliefs and existence as beings can restore a sense of responsibility that comes with free will. Always remember not to do to others what you don't like done to you. This simple spiritual rule relates to equal human rights and personal justice. If you struggle, seek understanding until you find this clear spiritual answer. Each of us is capable of having a personal sense of justice, regardless of whether the chicken or the egg came first. Appreciate life's uncontrollable factors that keep us alive and strive for spirituality, not politics. Help humanity work together, avoiding death, destruction, and spiritual crimes. Self-regulation is the foundation of a successful governing system. Fear-based control is impractical for evolving humans. Education in spiritual awareness promotes self-regulation. Despite millions of years of evolution, fear and reward-based systems have not eradicated crime. Strict religious punishments have not created crime-free societies. Even religious leaders commit crimes, showing that harsh control systems do not suit human beings. Science and religion differ vastly but share the common flaw of prejudice. Prejudice stems from ignorance, ego, pride, and honor, all born from the politics of group loyalty. We cannot achieve peace by following the same old politics. If it hasn't worked in millions of years, it won't work now. Change must come from the individual level, compelling everyone to join humanity as a whole. No one should violate anyone's rights to equal human rights. Groups with political agendas will stick to their politics, but individuals can rise above and belong to humanity. It is not easy to stand against your group, especially when it leads you in a spiritually wrong but politically right direction. Think of the spiritual rule: do not do to others what you don't like done to you. A spiritually knowledgeable and self-regulating individual strengthens the community. Some may differ, adhering to old mass over individual politics. However, equal human rights require spiritual justice. Science can repeat results, but the placebo effect, emotional behavior, mental health, physical health, and peaceful coexistence need further understanding. No religion, ideology, or democracy is perfect. We must evolve further. Equal human rights and one humanity should be the foundation of governing systems. Spiritually evolved systems can prevent us from killing each other over differences. Learning about our animal side is as important as understanding our human side. Old habits can change with soulful, fearless actions to achieve spiritual compassion. Groups resisting individual freedom of choice must critically assess their belief systems. If influenced by prejudice and discrimination, they are living in the wrong era. Every individual and group must embrace tolerance, acceptance, and compassion. A Canadian woman is taking the Quebec government to court for violating her human rights. In the past, religious governments could punish disobedience harshly, but equal human rights are now spreading globally. It is too late for religions to hide behind their beliefs. Even the Pope has embraced modern changes. Other religious leaders must condemn prejudice and discrimination in all societies. Spirituality is crucial, especially with our destructive capabilities. We need a spiritual system that does not discriminate based on color, gender, sexuality, nationality, or religion. Discrimination is against spirituality-related equal human rights. Prejudice-based politics, even rooted in religious differences, is a spiritual crime. Religious extremism has long been associated with spiritual crimes against innocent individuals, yet it has never truly been about spirituality or God. Instead, it has always been driven by the politics of the groups we choose to follow. This understanding should be enough to reveal the political motivations behind our individual actions. If we can stop fueling the fire of prejudice individually, we can reach the next level of evolution. Otherwise, we may continue to repeat the same patterns we've followed for thousands of years, regardless of our scientific and technological advancements. We need to approach our evolutionary journey holistically, not selectively.